welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well today. So I have just sat down to have a little cup of coffee. I just got back from the farmer's market a little bit ago. I got some beautiful flowers for the weekend, which I'm so excited about. And I also got some strawberries because they're in season right now and they're so delicious. I already snuck a couple. And I'm getting ready to go do a little bit of vintage shopping with my sister Jessica today, and I thought it would be a fun weekend to do a vlog for. But I'm having a little bit of coffee right now, and then we're going to meet up at the vintage store, and then after that we have movie club today. We're watching Citizen Kane, which I'm very excited about. And then I also am planning to do a little bit of knitting this weekend, but it was a lovely morning already. I met up with my friend slash neighbor and also my sister and brother-in-law and nephew, and my puppy Coconut came with us, of course. So now she's a little bit tuckered out and sleeping, and I'm just enjoying a moment of quiet to have my coffee and waiting for my sister to text me and let me know that she's on her way. But we're going to go to my favorite little antique mall, which is in downtown Little Rock in the Soma area, if you're familiar. And it has such a cool variety of stuff. It's also where I get a lot of my vintage patterns. I'm wearing this hat from Rifle Paper Company today because I was out in the sun this morning, and I feel like wearing a baseball cap is very different for me, but I think it's really cute, so I'm kind of having fun with it. But I'm excited to share the weekend with you all, and yeah, let's get ready and go do some vintage shopping. So we ended up going to a few more vintage stores and just other little shopping areas than we originally thought we would. So I just popped back home to spend a little time with Coconut before I head over to Jess's. But I'm also going to grab my knitting patterns while I'm here because Jess and I both like to knit, and I want to work more on my Peter Rabbit project today. So I'm going to take my project with me. But before I head over, let me show you what I found at the vintage shop really quickly. I'm actually getting slightly worried it's about to rain because it's looking very gray outside, but let me show you what I found today. So the first thing is a vintage sewing pattern, and this is a vintage 1940s dress pattern, and I think it is just beautiful. I love the lines of this, and I think if it were a bit longer it would look especially pretty, so I really want to try making this one. This antique mall has a whole booth of vintage sewing patterns, which I think I've shown a few times on the channel, but it is so fun. And then today I found the prettiest display of tea and espresso cups, so I got one. This is a Royal Albert teacup, and I think it is so pretty. I love the colors in this one. How beautiful for spring. And you guys know me, I love to make my coffee in teacups, so I will probably do that with this one, but I like to drink tea out of them as well. I don't know why, but I'm like reversed in my mind where I want my tea in a big coffee mug because I want a lot of tea, but I want my coffee in a little cup because I want a small amount of coffee. So apparently I'm just wired wrong with that, but I love this teacup. I think it's so beautiful, and I love collecting these vintage ones, so I was very excited to see the selection. And then Jessica, my sister, collects espresso cups, so it was very fun to look at all of those. And then we also popped into one of my favorite local boutiques, which is Pink Olive in Soma, and this is random, but I got a face mask, a sheet mask, and some eye patches. This is one of my favorite brands for face masks. It's ESW Beauty, and they had a large variety there, so I was very excited to find these and try them. These are called latte eye patches, so I'm going to use these tonight when I get home for a little bit of relaxation, I think. I brought little Missy to come say hi. She rolled around in the mulch outside my apartment building today, so her face is looking a little bit red, so we need to have a bath. I think she's also due for her first haircut. She's starting to get just a little bit overgrown. Oh my goodness, but we're feeling cuddly, aren't we, Coconut? When she's sleepy, she gets so cuddly, and it's just so sweet. Are you being such a sweetie? Yeah. Oh, thank you for the kisses. We're working on learning the difference between licking and biting right now, so it's a process. So yes, please send me your dog training tips if you have any. Please don't bite my hand. Can you give kisses? Kisses. Good girl. Yes, kisses. Good girl. Aw, I love you. I love you, baby. Do you want to go take a nap so mommy can go to Aunt Jessica's? Mwah. I love you. All right, I'm gonna go lay her down for a nap, and then I'm gonna head over to Jess's and we will watch Citizen Kane. I'm very excited. And she also said we're gonna make truffle fries, so I'm also very excited for that. Rise before guys. What do you have to show us? They're so cute. Oh, wow.
And then I have my other blue pen.
If you can't tell, she likes the color blue.
What makes you think that? What would make you say that?
Everything.
It's so pretty and calming.
It is. It's lovely. Friends, it's quite a bit later now and I am home. I've had dinner, cleaned the kitchen. Coconut is down to go to bed now. We just went outside and it's raining, so I'm a little bit rained on now, but I just made a cup of tea and this is some delicious fruit tea with honey, which I'm very excited about. And I'm about to work a little bit on my knitting project. I took this project with me to Jess's tonight and we were both working on our knitting, which was fun, but this is the Peter Rabbit that I'm knitting for my nephew. This is from the book Knitting Peter Rabbit, and here is what it will look like hopefully when it's done, but let me show you where I'm at so far. So you can kind of see it's starting to look a bit like a rabbit. There's some little legs, there's the head, and I'm about to start knitting the belly. So that is adding on this more creamy color, so I'm very excited about it. And I've just queued up some YouTube videos on my TV, and I'm just gonna be cozy and knit for a little while. I don't think there's anything cozier than a rainy evening with tea and knitting, so I'm very excited to just enjoy and then get ready and head to bed pretty soon.
I ain't never felt a kind of love like this before. You took all the worries from my mind. Darling, please forgive me if I stay a little more. I can't look away from those brown eyes. And if we settle down, we don't have to settle down. Please don't be afraid of all the things that could go wrong. And we can take our time and we may change our mind. I can tell.
Did you bring me your toy? Do you have your little lamb? Yeah. Good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. I guess it's afternoon now. I've just gotten back from church and I'm about to make a little bit of lunch. I'm going to do a little egg scramble. Last night I worked a lot on the Peter Rabbit and I actually stayed up kind of late. You're going to notice a pattern with these vlogs that I have many wild nights at home knitting, and I really want to finish up more of it today because I feel like it's not going to take too long to do the rest of it because I've only knit on it 3 times and I did the whole body of the rabbit, and now there's just the little limbs and ears to go and some facial details and the tail. So I feel like all of that will go pretty quickly, so I'm kind of thinking that's going to be my project for the afternoon. First, I'm going to make some lunch and do a little bit of computer work just to catch up on some things. And yeah, we'll check back in to work on some knitting soon. Also, for my fellow Rifle Paper Company fans, look at these cute new spatulas they have. I'm going to use this today for the first time. I think it's adorable. Oh, good kisses, Coconut. Good girl.
So restless in your sleep.
Now I think we've got to break in the new cup and make a little coffee in it, don't you?
When you find good love, it's the one that you should keep. And if we settle down, we don't have to settle down. Please don't be afraid of all the things that could go.
All right, I was working on that way longer than I intended, but I got a bunch of new content made and I got a new video up on YouTube, so that's all good. So I'm going to make another coffee and then let me show you where we're at with the Peter Rabbit project. I feel like the clouds have kind of covered up the sun and it's gotten kind of dark in here, but let me show you where we left Peter Rabbit yesterday. So He's finally starting to take shape as an actual little animal because I added the stuffing to the main part of it last night. And I'm not 100% happy with how the stitching looks where I've joined the pieces together, but I think it's all part of the learning process here because this is a new type of knitting for me. So I'm going to see about closing up the gap here from his chin to his neck. That's the next step, and then adding in the eyes, and then a few other steps, but I think it's really starting to come together and I can't wait to see how he turns out. So I think I'm going to pick out a movie and we're going to watch a movie and do some knitting for the duration of a movie. And then after that, I need to do a little Sunday reset in the apartment, clean, vacuum, all the things, and get it ready for the week. But I think if I don't finish Peter Rabbit tonight, I will continue this vlog tomorrow so I can show you the final product. I'm hoping if I don't finish it tonight, I'll finish it after work tomorrow. I may finish knitting tonight and then sew the clothes tomorrow. So we'll see, but I'm excited to get knitting. I'm trying to decide what I want to watch. I might watch something from my spring movie list that I shared in my recent spring ideas video. So I'm gonna look through that list and see what I can find. I just thought of Sabrina with Audrey Hepburn. That is one of my favorite spring movies and I haven't watched it this year yet. And so I think that has got to be what I'm going to watch. For me, Sabrina is one of those movies that I watch every year. I pull it out when I just want something comforting and cozy. It's just one of my absolute favorites. I even have the poster on my wall over here because I love it so much. Gaining personality now that he has eyes. Here is the Peter Rabbit progress I was able to make while watching Sabrina. So I got the eyes finished and I added the safety eyes. These are just like plastic eyes that go on these animals, and then there's also the little chin piece added, and then I got one ear completely done, so it's two sides to this. It's a pink side and then the tan color, and then this ear I only have one side done. But weirdly enough, I'm kind of tired of knitting for the night, so I think I'm going to put Peter Rabbit away until tomorrow and then hopefully finish up his ear and his arms and paws tomorrow. So that's the goal. But I love how he's getting a little personality now that he has eyes. It's just so fun to do something like this. It's something that I've never experimented with before, so I'm very much enjoying it, and it makes me excited to try making the other characters. I do think I'm going to knit at least one more Peter Rabbit, one for me because I want to keep one, and I actually might make one for my little brother who's 30. He also loves Peter Rabbit, so I feel like he might like having one. So since it's not taken too long to make, I might start making more Peter Rabbits. We'll see, but I love how it's turning out so far, so I'm excited to get it finished. So I think right now I'm going to do a quick little tidy up and then kind of wind down because I'm pretty tired. Weird to be this tired on a Sunday, but I feel pretty tired and I don't want to set myself up to be really tired during the week. But I will continue this vlog a little bit tomorrow as well, so I will talk to you then. All right, hello friends. It feels like it has been so long since I started this video because the day after I last talked to you, I got sick. And then just a lot of things happened in life, so I'm finally checking back in here. And you can see here, Mr. Peter Rabbit is all knitted. I finished stitching him up last night, and now I just need to make his outfit. So I'm very excited about this. This reminds me of when I was younger and I used to make doll clothes, but the knitting book has patterns for felt clothes and accessories for all of the characters. So we're going to make his little jacket, which I'm very excited about. So I'm about to make a little cup of coffee. It is the coziest rainy day. We have had the rainiest summer so far. I have been kind of tired of it, to be honest, but I'm trying to channel the Beatrix Potter vibes and just enjoy the cozy rainy atmosphere. So I'm going to make a little coffee and then get stitching up on Peter Rabbit's little jacket. Of course, we've got to use the Peter Rabbit cup again. It just seems appropriate.
doing, Coconut?
Using almond milk today. I always struggle to do my latte art with almond milk, so if you know how to do that and have any tips, please let me know. Coconut has figured out how to pull this blanket off of my sofa, and she keeps piling it up on the floor and making herself a nice little cozy place to play with Lammy. I also had to book her in for her first haircut, and I know she needs it because we can't see so well, but oh my gosh, I'm going to miss the adorable puppy Fluff. I know, but you need a haircut, don't you? You got your Lammy? You got your Lammy? Good girl. So I have all of my different colors of felt here, and for Peter Rabbit, the accessories are the jacket, the carrot, and the shoes. I'm not going to do the buttons on my jacket. You definitely could, but I want to keep this as little kid friendly as possible. Now, because the rabbit does have the safety eyes, he will only be for supervised play or display right now while my nephew is little. So I might add buttons later, but I just feel like it's better to leave them off altogether right now. So let's find the patterns. These are so adorable and tiny. So for Peter Rabbit, we've got the jacket and then the carrot and the little slippers. So I'm going to trace all of these off and then cut out all of my pattern pieces. I have some random tissue paper from a package, so I'm just going to use that. Curious if any of you remember the Briar Bears toys. Something about this project is reminding me of my Briar Bears that I had as a kid. I loved those. I think I kind of got in on the tail end of them as I was slightly growing out of that type of toy by that stage, but they were just so sweet, the little bears with all the outfits. I'll pop in some pictures. I'm curious if you guys remember. I also loved, when I was really little, tea bunnies. Does anybody remember those? Those were some of my favorite toys. They were little bunnies that came with their own teacups, and then you got like a plastic teacup to play with, and I loved my tea bunnies. Those were some of my favorite things. I think this is the tiniest sleeve seam I've ever stitched. Had to do it by hand. All right, friends, it is the next day now, and little Mr. Peter Rabbit is all done. He has his jacket and the little carrot and his shoes, and I think he turned out so cute. I love it. And I am about to go take him over and present him to Mr. Gilbert, so we'll see what Gilbert thinks of him. I think he's going to be a fan. And I'll make sure to record so we can see. I do think there are a few things I could have improved on as I was making this, and so I'm excited to try again and make a few more of the patterns from the book, but I just think he's so adorable, and I can't wait to see what Gilbert thinks. So I'm doing some gardening with my mom today, and then I'm gonna pop over and give him to Gilbert, so we'll go pack him up and take him, and I can't wait for him to go to his new home. So I think it's safe to say that Gilbert was a fan of Peter Rabbit. He immediately wanted to give him kisses and cuddles, so I'm taking that as a win and a successful project. So thank you so much for spending time with me while I worked on it over the past little while. I had so much fun filming this vlog, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm excited because I'm about to get started on the next project for the Cozy Sewing Club, which is my channel membership if you're not aware. So if you'd like to consider joining it, you can find all the information by clicking join down below. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you back for future videos, so you can go ahead and subscribe by clicking the button down below as well. Thank you again so much for being here today. I hope you're all having a lovely week, and I will talk to you in a new video very soon. Bye.